Hey everybody, I am here to you today. My name is Pegeen and I'm excited to talk to you about selling your expertise and your experience. One of the most important things that you can do, whether you're in corporate, whether you're a solopreneur, whether you're in business, whether you're a doctor, whether you're a speaker, whether you're a trainer, you have to sell your experience and your expertise. People buy people that they trust. People buy from people that are they feel have something to say. And in your corporate settings, people want to listen to people who have experience and expertise. And you have to know that everything that you do, you are always selling yourself. You're always putting yourself out there. It is critically important that you know how to sell your expertise and your experience. So here's 5 tips that I have for you to help you really think about how are you presenting yourself, how are you showing up, and how are you, through the actions that you take, sell your experience and your expertise. So let's start with what number one is. Number one is define your unique proposition. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. The concept, the name unique value proposition feels very heavy and it's used all over the place, but I want to break it down for you so that you can really understand what your UVP or unique value proposition is. You are valuable. The way you think, the way you communicate, the way you find solutions, the way that you engage people. You know that many times people are telling you, oh, I love working with you. I love the way you present. Or, hey, bring Mary into the conversation. Let's hear what she has to say about this. People really value what you bring to the table. And sometimes you, one, don't listen, and two, don't know how to really promote that. So, first things first is that you have to identify what sets you apart from others, and you want to highlight your strengths and your skills. This is not the time for you to be, ooh, so weak and, demure and humble. This is a time for you to do an introspective talk, a real sit down, let's see who you are kind of conversation where you're able to say, this is what I do really well. This is what I do amazingly well. This is my magic. This is my brilliance. You want to write those things down because if you don't know those things, it is hard for others to know it. Now, it does help for you to talk to people who are telling you how awesome you are, or that really enjoy being around you, or that love bringing you into meetings because of what you bring to the table. So that is an asset, and you want to be able to write those things down. But you have to sit down and first write your list. What is your strengths and what are your skills? I am not interested in this point at all about what you perceive as your weaknesses or or anything that's going to beat yourself up. It doesn't work if you do that. You have to be able to highlight your strengths and your skills. You want to be able to be clear what you offer and what makes you an expert. So, what do you offer? Why did you go on this mission? Why have you taken the courses that you've taken? Why do you show up in places that you show up? Why do you get passionate about what you do? It is so important that you are able to know what makes you an expert in what you do, and you want to be able to communicate clearly what kind of solution do you offer to people? What kind of solution do you give others so that they feel that you are someone who can give them the insight, the wisdom, and the clarity about who you are and what you do and how you do what you do? Now, what you have to offer may be a product or service. What you have to offer may be your brilliance and your genius. You have to figure out what you're going to offer. And that's critically important. I Hi John, I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for loving the glasses. I so appreciate that. It's part of my brand, and we're going to be talking about that in a little bit too, about how do you understand. So the second part of this is how do you build your personal brand? So how you build your brand is to how are you noticed? So like John was just writing about how he liked my glasses. And, so I wear glasses. They're part of who I am. It's part of my brand, how I do my hair. I know my brand very well, and I need you to know your brand very well so that people really understand who you are. So here's how you do. Your brand is what people think when they hear your name. I really want when people say Pegeen, they have to know that I'm a maverick person. I am a person that's going to step out on the edge. I'm the one that's going to go, come on, we can do it, and we're going to move forward. I am absolutely the one that's going to be funny and lighthearted and irreverent, but have extreme business experience and leadership experience. That's what I want people to know. That's why I do these every Tuesday, to educate people about who I am. You truly want to have a strong, consistent personal brand that showcases your skills, experience, and personality. So when I look at my colors and my branding, they have to exude who I am. You'll see over here my logo. So it has my name and it has a torch on it. The reason that I have the torch is I want people to understand a couple of things. I live by 3 core things. One, the torch of the Statue of Liberty. I am absolutely determined to always carry the torch to give you hope and opportunities, to give you insight and wisdom to be your higher best. I also carry the torch like the Olympics because I truly believe in the camaraderie of competitors people who compete with themselves. I believe in the power of that camaraderie, the support of having people who will cheer you. And I believe totally and unabashedly in the idea that I compete with myself. I don't compete with you or anybody else because I'm unique. And the third part of the torch for me, which is why it's on my logo that you see it over here, is the idea of brotherhood and taking risk for others. I will always take risks to find ways to inspire and help other people. It's critically important that you know your brand. I have Sherry over here. Great point, Pegeen, bringing new skills and must be able to articulate it. Thank you so much, Sherry Ann. I appreciate that too. It's also always knowing, really importantly, that, hey, Teresa, I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much for talking about brand. So here's the other piece that I need you to be aware of. You're building a strong, consistent brand that showcases your experience, but you have to do number 3, which is create a strong online presence. Now, I've got to tell you, this is so important for people who don't work, and maybe they're not in business, but they work for corporations, or maybe they're doctors in a hospital. I actually changed my appointment with a doctor. I was going to have a doctor's appointment. They told me who the doctor was, and I went online and searched about him. Well, let me tell you, his LinkedIn profile was horrible. It did not give me any confidence in him. So what did I do? I called up and I asked for a new doctor. I need to know you have a strong online presence that's communicating your confidence, that's communicating who you are. Why? Because you need to showcase your experience and expertise to a wider audience. They have to know who you are, what you do, how you do what you do. And that's whether or not you are an expert in your field, in your corporation, especially if you're in a large corporation. People don't know you. They will search you on LinkedIn. They will search about you online because they want to be prepared to speak to you. As a matter of fact, this is what happens. They search for you while they're talking to you to see if what you're saying has credibility. So you better make sure you have a strong, positive online presence. And that means that you want to have a professional website. Now, I'm going to be cautious about this for you, all of you. I hope, please, please pray that you have all, no matter who you are here, have purchased your personal website domain name. Now, I started to give this as gifts for babies when they're born. I buy their personal website name. I send it to their parents because this is going to be critical for their future. They have to have an online presence, and it's become more and more. And of course, as everybody is being born, there's going to be limited amount of domains available. So if I buy it now and they use it in 20 years, that's great. What does that cost me? $9 or $4.99 a year until they're ready to use it, I'm good with that. The other part that's really important for you is you could buy your domain and then have it shown to your LinkedIn profile. So it's easy for people to find you. Make it easy. If you are on social media, have active social media profiles. It's terrible to go to somebody's profile as you're talking to them and they've not posted in 5 years. Now, all of you watching, you're on already, but if you're watching or you're talking about this to a friend of yours, please tell them to just post every so often some career choice, some paper that they've figured out, something that they've done. It's so important. It's important to have your online portfolios, have some images and pictures, and put it on LinkedIn. If you're on LinkedIn, put on LinkedIn a slideshare of some of your presentations. It's so critically important. 4, network. My New York accent is coming. You have to network. Networking doesn't mean that you have to go to every cocktail party or to be everywhere all the time. It means that you're going to stay very focused to attend conference and events in your field. So this is very specific to your industry that you're in. You want to connect with people in your industry and engage with others. This means if you're a doctor, you're going to medical events. If you're in finance, you're going to financial events, but you really want to be in your field. The more people get to know you, the more you volunteer to be on committees, the more that you take lead roles on task forces, the more your expertise is known and the more valuable you become to the people around you. So they ask you for your support. It's critically important. You want to make sure that understand that all of these connections lead to opportunities that help you establish yourself as an expert. And I'm going to add one more to this whole thing, because I was noticing that sometimes when I'm talking, I'm getting intense. I have this serious look. You have to go out and do it with a smile so people can connect with you. Because number 5, you always have to demonstrate your expertise. You have to share how you've done what you do when you do it. And it's so important for you to, 1, publish articles, white papers, case studies, demonstrating your knowledge and expertise. Short things. You could give a case study about how you met with a personal coach somebody and what they came. You don't have to share their name. You don't have to share what you do, but you could share how you're coaching or you're mentoring if you're not being paid for it, but how you were mentoring somebody and it helped them grow and change. So let me make sure that you all remember the 5 things, which is 1, define your unique value proposition. 2, build your personal brand. It's so critically important. 3, create a strong online presence. 4, make sure that you're networking. 5, demonstrate your expertise. Now, I'm going to let you all know that you can all get my free power course. It's all free to you. I'm going to share the screen so you can see what this looks like, but you could go to Step Into Your Power and you can gain confidence, charisma, and faith in yourself. It's free. It's a course for you. All you have to do is go to yourpowercourse.com and sign up so that you could get your course. I'd love you to take advantage of it because I want you to thrive. My name is Pegeen. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Pegeen, and my websites are pegeen.com and Power Women Worldwide. Be bold, be brave, be seen, be heard, and I want everybody to know you are freaking awesome.
Be focused, be fearless, have fun.